I used to keep a crumpled lottery ticket in my wallet. It wasn't a winning ticket, it was a loser. I kept it there for 3 years, right behind my driver's license, as a reminder of the most dangerous lie I ever told myself. That lie was simple. One day, it will be my turn. I truly believed that if I just kept my head down, suffered in silence, and did the work, the universe would eventually owe me a favor. I thought financial freedom was a queue, and I was just waiting for my number to be called. But looking at that worthless piece of paper every time I went to pay for gas with a maxed out credit card taught me the hard truth. The universe doesn't owe you anything, and waiting for your turn is the fastest way to ensure it never comes. Hey, everyone. Anderson Ere. Look, we need to have a real conversation today. A conversation that might feel a little uncomfortable because it goes against everything our parents and teachers drilled into our heads. We were raised on the idea of meritocracy, that hard work guarantees success. But how many people do you know who work themselves into the ground, pulling double shifts, missing their kids' birthdays, and barely scraping by? I know a lot. I used to be one of them. The reality is that working hard is only half the equation, and frankly, it's the less important half. The other half is what the wealthy call positioning. But what the rest of us just call luck? We look at the guy who bought Bitcoin at $10, or the woman whose startup got funded because she bumped into an investor in an elevator, and we think, must be nice. We resent their luck. But what if I told you that luck isn't a lightning strike? What if luck is actually a structure, a surface area that you can build brick by brick? Today, we are going to dismantle the myth of random chance. I'm going to show you how to stop waiting for a miracle and start engineering your own inevitability. Let's start by defining the problem properly. Most of us view luck as an event. It is a moment in time where something good happens to you without your direct control. You find a $20 bill on the sidewalk. That is an event. But in the world of finance and career growth, viewing luck as an event is a trap. It makes you passive. It turns you into a spectator in your own life. When I was at my lowest point, drowning in debt and working a job that didn't respect me, I was purely event. I was waiting for a promotion. I was waiting for a recruiter to find my LinkedIn profile. I was waiting for the economy to get better. I was sitting in a windowless room, working harder than anyone else, assuming that my effort was emitting some kind of signal that the world would pick up on. It wasn't. Here is the concept that changed everything for me: the luck surface area. Imagine your potential for success is a physical object, like a net. If you are working hard in isolation, keeping your head down, and not sharing your work or connecting with others, your net is the size of a tea saucer. You could be the most talented person in the world, but if your net is the size of a saucer, you are going to catch almost nothing. The rain of opportunity is falling all around you: jobs, partnerships, investments, ideas, but it is hitting the ground, not your net. The financial elite, the people we look at with envy, they aren't necessarily smarter than you. They definitely aren't working harder than the single mom working 2 retail jobs. But they have built a net the size of a football field. They have engineered a massive surface area where it becomes statistically impossible for them not to get lucky. I remember this specific night this clicked for me. I was reading a biography of a tech billionaire, trying to find the secret. I was looking for the one stock pick or the one business strategy. Instead, I noticed a pattern. This guy didn't just have one big break, he had dozens. He was constantly bumping into the right people. He was constantly stumbling upon new trends. Was he psychic? No. He simply placed himself in the middle of traffic. He wrote articles before he was an expert. He attended conferences he couldn't afford. He emailed people who were out of his league. He was increasing his surface area. I looked at my own life and realized I was hiding. I was so afraid of looking stupid or being rejected that I had made myself invisible. I was working hard. Yes, but I was working in the dark. And in the dark, luck can't find you. You have to turn the lights on, even if the mess in a room embarrasses you at first. So, how do we actually build this surface area? It's not about becoming an extrovert or a cheesy salesperson. I'm an introvert. The idea of networking makes me want to hide under the bed, but we have to reframe what it means to be visible. Building your luck surface area comes down to two variables: what you create and how many people know about it. That's it. Think about it like this. Every time you complete a project, learn a new skill, or have a unique insight, you have created a unit of value. Most people take that value and lock it in a drawer. They finish the project and move to the next one. They learn the skill and just use it quietly. This is a waste. To manufacture luck, you must publish your value. This doesn't mean you need to be a YouTuber, and it means your work needs to leave a trail. Let me give you a concrete example from my own journey. A few years ago, I spent weeks researching how to automate a specific boring spreadsheet task for my job. I figured it out, saved myself 10 hours a week, and felt good about it. The old me would have just enjoyed the free time. The new me, trying to build surface area, decided to write a simple, ugly PDF guide explaining how I did it and posted it on a niche forum. I didn't ask for money. I just put it out there. That PDF sat there for 3 months. Nothing happened. I felt silly. Then, on a Tuesday morning, I got an email. A small business owner in Ohio had found the guide via a Google search. He was struggling with the same problem, but on a much larger scale. He didn't want to learn how to do it. He wanted to pay someone to fix it. He offered me $2,000 to set up his system. That was my monthly rent at the time. That wasn't magic. It wasn't the universe smiling on me. It was a direct result of expanding my surface area. If I had kept that knowledge in my head, that opportunity would have literally ceased to exist. The key here is to detach from the immediate result. When you plant a seed, you don't stand over it yelling grow. You plant it and move on. You plant another one. Eventually, you have an orchard. You need to start viewing your output, your thoughts, your projects, your emails as seeds. Most of them won't grow. That is fine. We are playing a volume game. The more seeds you have in the ground, the more likely you are to catch a rainstorm. You stop asking, will this pay off right now? And start asking, does this increase the probability of something good happening eventually? That shift in perspective is what separates the people who grind forever from the people who seem to effortlessly attract opportunity. Now, let's talk about the multiplier effect, or what I like to call the collision theory. Once you start building this surface area, creating value, and letting people know about it, something strange happens. The opportunities start to compound. This is the part that feels like magic. But again, it is just math. When you are just starting, you are adding 1-1. You do a thing, you tell a person. But as your surface area grows, the nodes in your network start talking to each other without you. That business owner I helped, he told his brother-in-law. His brother-in-law ran a logistics company. Suddenly, I wasn't looking for clients. Clients were colliding with me. This is where the rich get richer concept comes from. It's not just about money compounding, it's about opportunity compounding. But there is a barrier you have to break through to get here. And it is the barrier of perfect. We are taught that we should only show our best self to the world. We scrub our social media, we agonize over emails, we don't launch the business until the logo is perfect. This perfectionism it shrinks your surface area down to zero. To get lucky, you have to be willing to be a little bit messy. You have to be willing to be a work in progress in public. I remember hesitating to reach out to a mentor of mine because I didn't feel ready. I thought I needed to have more money or more success before I was worthy of his time. I waited 2 years. When I finally met him, he told me, "Anderson, if you had contacted me 2 years ago when you were struggling, I could have helped you faster. I like helping people who are in the trenches." I had blocked my own luck because of my ego. I was trying to protect an image that didn't pay the bills. Fabricating luck requires a thick skin. It requires you to send a cold email knowing there is a 90% chance they won't reply. It requires you to post the article knowing someone might criticize it. It requires you to ask for the raise, the sale, or the date, knowing you might hear no. Every no is just data. It's not a reflection of your worth. But every time you put yourself in a position to be rejected, you are also putting yourself in a position to be accepted. You are standing in the middle of the highway. Eventually, you will get hit by the bus of opportunity. So, look at your life right now. Are you hiding? Are you waiting? Are you hoping that if you just suffer quietly enough, someone will notice? They won't. You have to build the door, handle, and hinges, and then walk through it yourself. The financial elite have been playing this game for centuries. They introduce their kids to the right people, they send them to the right schools, they are manufacturing service area. You might not have their resources, but in the digital age, you have infinite reach. You can build a surface area bigger than any country club membership, but you have to start laying the bricks today. Luck is not a mysterious force that chooses favorites. It is a mathematical probability that you can influence. It is the result of high intentions colliding with high activity. The crumpled lottery ticket I used to carry was a symbol of my passivity. I threw it away the day I realized that I am the one who prints the tickets. I want you to stop hoping for a better year and start building a better net. Increase your surface area. Share your work. Talk to strangers. Be useful in public. If you do this consistently, I promise you, one day you will look back and people will say you got lucky. And you can just smile, knowing exactly how you engineered every bit of it. Thanks for being here with me. Now, go make some luck.